True Yehudi music. That's right. Yeah. Look, True Yehudi, you don't feel me though.
All right, let's talk about these switches. Y'all know what switches I'm talking about. These switches that convert these regular pistols that these young boys is carrying into machine guns. Now, what's been happening the past 5 or 6 years, you've been seeing all of these young guys walking around with these big buttons on the back of their Glocks with these extended mags. I'm gonna tell y'all what these switches do for the people that's not gun people. These Glocks, these pistols, they shoot 1 shot per trigger pull. Those switches they put on the back of their Glocks turn their Glocks into submachine guns. So basically, if you were to hold that trigger down on that Glock, it will empty that 30-round magazine in about 2 seconds. So let's do the math. 33 rounds in 2 seconds. That's about what? 16 rounds a second? Do the math on that. That's close to 1,000 rounds a minute. That's a lot of lead getting sprayed. Now, we need to ask ourselves a question that we're not really asking. Where are all of these switches coming from? Who's putting these switches on the street? You think it's Uncle Sam? Uncle Sam got their hand in it, but they not doing it. The people that's putting these switches on the street is your Chinese Communist Party. So somebody's gonna ask me, how you know it's the Chinese Communist Party? Let's go down the rabbit hole. Now, this is gonna be a short video. I might make a part 2 and a part 3 to this. First, we gotta start with the drug cartels. You got about 7 large cartels in Mexico. If you didn't know, your cartels, those drug cartels in Mexico, they are multinational corporations. They're doing business all over the place. They're everywhere. They're in China, they're in Japan, they're in Australia. They're doing business everywhere. So, the Chinese Communist Party, or the CCP, they're hostile to America. And they still remember what English-speaking people did to them during the Opium Wars. Y'all follow me? You can't invade America from the Pacific Coast. You're not gonna do that. The population's too heavily armed and the Navy is too strong. You're not gonna invade America from the Gulf Coast. The Navy's too strong. You're not gonna invade America from the Atlantic coast. You're not gonna do that. So what's the best way to invade and conquer America and kill as many people as possible? How would you do that? I will infiltrate the governments of one of your friendliest neighbors. Let's influence the government and let's influence multinational corporations near your neighbors. And let's flood in some elements that's gonna kill a lot of people in your country. Let's manipulate the politics in your country. Now, I just said a lot of stuff. Let's slow it down. Let's talk about in 2020, watchdog groups identified at least 20 governors. Depends on what report you read. It was 20 governors. I read another report where it was 31 governors that had ties to the Communist Party of China. Let that sink in. You got governors. Guess what? All of them are not Democrat. Some of them are Republican. You got Republican and Democrat governors that are sympathetic and had campaign endorsements by the Chinese Communist Party. Now, you had even more politicians than that. And some of your politicians that are under the influence of the CCP are in control of border policy. Now, if I can manipulate politicians to leave that border open, guess what? I can finance these fentanyl warehouses and these fentanyl factories to produce this stuff and ship it across the border. You know the cartel gonna bring it up here, and you know the word has got out that America is soft on that border. The fentanyl's coming up here, so is the switches. China's not gonna put a soldier on our soil. They're gonna ship the supplies up here so we can kill ourselves. Let that sink in. Hands down, Chinese Communist Party is responsible for these switches, and it's responsible for this fentanyl getting shipped across the border. And who's the main people getting killed by this stuff? It's our boys, it's our people with these switches. That's who's bragging about it. Go back and watch my video, Barbarians at the Gate, because when Trump heard about this, guess what? Put soldiers at the border, because we know what's coming through the border. It's fentanyl, it's switches, it's other automatic weapons. Because America has been exporting brutality all across the world for a long time now. The brutality is coming back here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. This is part 1. Go ahead and subscribe. Conversation Piece ATL. Go ahead and subscribe to the Instagram, subscribe to the Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube.